Stand here, Kevin. You kind of start showing, like, show all the wet and show all that way, show all the point, you know, or I can, yeah. So whenever you're ready, tell me. Is it on?
Yeah.
All right, good. Hey. We're back at it, people. We're in Pleasanton, California. As you can see, there's really bad water damage. They used a product called Glaze and Seal. Which is a good product. It's just more made for indoors. It's not made for outdoors. And what it does over time is basically what you see here. It turns white. It's time to peel. You know, so basically what you want to do is avoid putting these shiny sealers outside. There's other sealers that are more made for outside. As you can see, once it starts to break down the sealer, it starts to break down the soft clay, and then the surface starts to come up. Like I said, the Glaze and Seal is a good product for the inside. It just doesn't hold up outside, and I find that all those topical shiny sealers just don't hold up outside. There's tons of other brands. They're all basically the same shit in a nutshell, people. You know, it's all shiny topical sealer. Don't put it outside. It's gonna fail. It's gonna turn white. And you know, it's one of those things. It doesn't necessarily do it today or tomorrow. It's like a gradual thing over time. And what happens is, it's not like every tile does it the same. It does it unevenly. All right, so like I said, you can see the whole tiles have fallen apart, just certain areas, because they're made of clay. And if you look here, you can see all this stuff right here is all just the water over time slowly calcifying, slowly just breaking down the sealer. So the purpose of the video, people, is do not put the shiny topical coating sealers outside. They don't belong. They'll fail on you every time. You can see just all the water damage and all the stuff that's happening here. You know, these things are like sponges, people. Remember, water's the enemy. You can see their efflorescence everywhere. You can see under there where it's really nice. It's staying pretty, you know, they look decent under here just because it's not getting the water. But even then, you can see the salts, you know, once water gets into it, they dry out as these salts, you know, efflorescence. But it also leaves watermarks. See that right there? This is a watermark. That's because the sealer lasted really good here, but over here it failed. So that's kind of the tricky part about these sealers. So if you go to the link below, I have a link showing the Glaze and Seal and how you could get it. I recommend it for some of you like DIYers, you know, do-it-yourselfers, because it's a lot thinner. So it's a lot less likely for you to mess up. Like some of the thicker sealers have a streak and leave bubbles and stuff like that. So this is actually really good. It's just how you apply it and how many layers you apply. So the Glaze and Seal is a good product. It's in the link below. You should like us. You should subscribe. You should definitely share. And most important of all is just don't put if you have these terracotta tiles, or if you're planning on installing these terracotta tiles, what I'm starting to realize, not only do you guys not know nothing, you're hiring guys to put them in for you that don't know shit. So don't let your contractor or tile setter or let these guys convince you to put the shiny sealer on here, because that's what's happening and you guys just don't know. So keep yourself informed. Question these guys. You know what I mean? There's other sealers out here that'll work amazing. The penetrating sealer, same thing. You can go to the link below. We can send you to the penetrating sealer. It's an excellent product. I highly recommend it for out here. It'll give it a watertight seal and keep the water from saturating into it, people. You got to imagine these are like French bread, okay? They got the crusty surface and their soft clay on the inside. And what's happening everywhere, as you can see, it's starting to expose the soft clay on the inside because the surface is coming off. So what happens is when these get wet over time, the water slowly softens them. And this is years, people. This doesn't happen like in a year. This is over a repeated, you know, the sprinklers get on it. They get it wet. It never really dries out. So the sprinklers get on it. It gets wet. Slowly over time, the water just slowly softens the clay to a point where they just start to break apart and disintegrate. So the sealer is really important. And this last little tip is for free. Seal outside more often than not. So on the bottle of these sealers, it says 5 years. These people sit in a lab, the people that make this shit, they pour it on a tile and they make fake sun and wind. And I've even mentioned this before in other videos. It's all fake, people. This is a real life house. This is what really happens to real people who have a home and, you know, and it's not maintained correctly and they got the wrong sealer. This is what really happens, not the lab. So my point is, the sealers don't necessarily do what they say they're gonna do. The sealer that I'm recommending It lasts, but it's something I do real often. You know what I mean? So that one's for free. I'm gonna get back to work. You guys should like us, subscribe. That button down below, push it. We got tons of other information, like what to do before, during, and after you have these terracotta tiles either installed or you just bought a house that has them. You know, it's just like everything. You want to be informed about these floors. You want to know how to approach them with cleaning products. You want to make sure you don't put tape on them. You want to elevate the pots. Like for instance, same thing. If you come back here, this is actually a covered area, and there's a pot sitting right here which we have moved. But you can see the constant watering of the pot is doing this. So a lot of this could have been prevented. Human error, not thinking ahead of time. All that stuff is really important with these tiles, more than any other tile I could think of. These tiles are just they're really easy. If you do it right from the beginning, boom, they're a breeze to take care of. But if they're not, they're gonna start to fall apart on you. They're not gonna hold up. So anyway though, like and subscribe, share. Hope you found this informative. Don't be a clone. Remember, no shiny topical sealers. I don't care. Don't let these guys convince you, oh, it's thick. Oh, it's from here. It's special. It's all bullshit. It will not hold up outside. So have a good day, people.